Thank you, Mayor. It is an absolute pleasure to be recognized in my hometown. First of all, Mayor, I want to say good recovery on the ladies' man remark. Well played. And I do want to commend Michelle, who is a woman of strength and courage and is an incredible partner. So we know that the mayor does great things, but having you at his side has really made a difference in our community. And I want to give you a special recognition for our friendship and all you've done for our community. Actually, thank you for agreeing to host this today, and Crystal for your work as Chief Diversity Officer, and all the incredible women that the mayor just mentioned who are part of his team here. I was starting to wonder, does he hire any guys at all? I mean, that's an incredible record, and it's important that you have leaders at the top who understand that bringing different voices to the table is not to be feared or a threat, but to be welcomed and embraced. And that's exactly what you've done here in assembling your team. So Mayor, I want to thank you for that, but also thank you for making sure that City Hall is the epicenter of all the significant movements going on in our nation, including last year's March with Women. You gathered here this weekend. You gathered people to talk about sensible gun safety measures and our work to support those initiatives. So you have really been the epicenter of so many important causes, and on behalf of the governor, I thank you for the kind of leadership you've displayed here, and also your incredible leadership in helping transform my hometown into a place of great envy. And I literally just left a group of individuals from Rochester who came here to see how we did what we did. And so a lot of that credit goes to you, your administration, all the individuals here, so thank you very much. Women's History Month. It's hard to think of women's history without thinking of an individual who the mayor and I just honored on Friday. And that is the life of someone who for a time represented part of the city of Buffalo in Congress, and that was Louise Slaughter. And I think that her lifetime of work for women and families and making sure that people had health insurance and the right to choose and so many other important issues will continue on to our work. And that is what I took from that celebration of her life, is that she may be gone physically, but what she left on us was a strong desire and commitment, indeed a calling to the rest of us to carry on in her name. So if we could just, for a moment, let's give a round of applause to Congresswoman Louise Slaughter and her lifetime of work for us. We've had an incredible year celebrating women's history because it also was the 100th anniversary of women winning the right to vote. And the mayor referenced this perseverance that started not far from here in 1848 when a group of 300 individuals, women and a few enlightened men who joined them, to stand up and say that women should no longer be treated as the property of their husbands but are free and independent and should have the right to vote. And I talk about the role of men in this movement as well, because it truly was the eloquence of Frederick Douglass who stood up at that Seneca Falls convention at a time when people were saying, maybe it's too audacious, maybe it's too crazy to ask for the right to vote and we'll never get very far. Frederick Douglass stood up and said, no, women deserve the right to vote. And yes, it took 70 more years of marching and women being ostracized by their communities and their churches and society, but they never gave up. And that is the story I want told all over this state, because New York State is the birthplace of women's rights. And that confers on us a special responsibility that is not on any other state. That is our story to celebrate, embrace, and to inspire the next generation. So last November, on the 100th anniversary, we lit up this state in the color of suffrage, purple. We lit up City Hall, we lit up the Peace Bridge. I was in New York City, we lit up Times Square, we lit up the Empire State Building, the World Trade Center. But more than just lighting up with a color, we wanted to ignite a passion for those of us who've now been passed the torch from those early suffragettes and the people who came before us and paved the way, whose shoulders we stand. The torch has been passed to us, but not just for us to hand off to the younger generation. It's incumbent upon all of us in all of our roles to make sure that torch grows even brighter, and how we have elevated the status of women during our time. And whether it's hiring qualified women, supporting those who run for office, making sure that their voices are represented in the C-suites, in the boardrooms, and also standing up against sexual harassment once and for all, saying women should not be subjected to degradation, discrimination, or harassment because of their gender in the workplace. And I do believe when people look back 100 years from now as we celebrate the bicentennial of women's right to vote here in the state of New York, they will look at 2017 and 2018 as a time when there is a seismic societal shift in how women are viewed in society. And all of you will be the keepers of that flame. Our work is not over with a march. It continues every single day. And Mayor, I want to thank you for having such an important role in supporting women, and this honor means so much to me, particularly in my hometown. So I really am delighted to be recognized, but also with the other recipients, Jackie and the Radical Women's Night Out. That sounds like a club I could join any day of the week. Count me in for whatever you're doing, Radical Women Night Out. It sounds like a lot of fun. So I'll be there to support your efforts, and you're promoting a wonderful art exhibit at the Art Gallery. And again, reminding people of the significant contributions of women, past, present, and indeed the future. Thank you.